definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking downfield, it's Klubnik. Throws to the wideout. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. He was looking for room to return that, but he'll just hand it to the offense. They'll take over at the 18.
And how about that play by the defense here early in this game, opening drive, facing one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football, and they're able to get an interception. That is going to be massive for their confidence in this game.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain. The Longhorns want to move quickly. They'll move the tight end.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside their 20. He'll get rid of it. He's got it. Such a big part to convert these 3rd downs, and they got it at the 42.
That's the end of the first quarter. And after one, we're tied 0-0.
So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. They'll send the back in motion. To the air on first down. Got him downfield. Plenty of room on that play, and they find their way to the 36. Always nice to have that security blanket of the tight end.
And it's nice to have a tight end that can line up in different areas of the field, too. It's not always going to be in a three-point stance. He can sometimes be in the backfield. You could flex him out into the slot. They might even try to put this guy out at wide receiver in the split end position and see what he can do there, because this guy is a weapon.
To the air. It's Manning. Wide open downfield. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Texas! Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. On the ground, it's Haynes.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Here's the give off the left side. Not a lot of room there. Give him a couple to the 16.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Brown. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. Clemson jumps to the line.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that.
Got his man. Smashes through the tackle. All kinds of room to the right. The 20. The 10. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tiger.
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. We trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
And now they'll empty the backfield for the two-point try. Back to throw, it's Klubnik. He's into the end zone for the 2, and he gives them the lead. They want to get the ball right back here in the first half. They've got the lead and going for the onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done.
We're only in the first half, and I don't think anybody had onside kick in the second quarter on their bingo card. They were trying to catch the opponent off guard, but it didn't work. Now let's find out what this offense can do. You have got to make them pay for gambling.
Makes the catch, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Longhorns!
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up, and keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Motion from the wideout. Starts a drive trying to go up top. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
Man, a lot of coaches talk about starting the drive positive and the first play that can get you going. The QB just kept backing up and going backwards, and that is not the start to the drive they were looking for.
Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still, just a very short gain. The Tigers need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on third down. Looking to pass, it's Klubnik. Fires left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. It's a first down. They'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Offense up tempo. Wants to go up top on first down. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. Not a lot of room on the return, but he'd already got the most important thing, the ball, and they have it at the 46. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Defense in press coverage. On the option. To the ground with the back. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. Touchdown, Texas! He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
You know, there's so many coaches out there in two-minute situations at the end of the half with a lead that'll just be happy taking the lead into halftime. This guy's staying aggressive, though. Pedal to the metal, David, and you saw it paid off there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and let's finish this half now. Now, we got a nice lead. Built a little bit of a lead, but the defense has to go back out there. There's still a little bit of time, so get that stop to keep that momentum you just got, and everybody will be jacked up at halftime.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Might be changing the route. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Touchdown, Longhorns! And they turn it into a defensive score.
Man, Yeah, defenses are always trying to force turnovers, to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
Texas.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Looking to throw, it's Klubnik. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Not in lockstep there with the receiver.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Unloads to the wideout. He makes the catch. They bring him down, but not before he gets a first down at the 35.
At the 35-yard line. Good enough for first down.
Looking to throw on first down. Looking left. Got his man downfield. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Making side adjustments here. Wants to throw on first down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Touchdown, Tiger! They punctuate the chance with a trip to the end zone.
Well, the head coach has to love what he saw from his offense here at the very end of the first half, when you got to have an execution. It's got to be great in these two-minute type situations. Really nice job handling the situation by the quarterback, making sure all 10 other guys on offense are on the same page. And they're still losing the football game, but that's a touchdown they absolutely needed to have here at the end of the first half.
From inside his own 15, looking for room. Hits him with a stiff arm. They finally make the stop. That's going to make those halftime stats look a little bit nicer as we head to the break. So that's going to do it here in the first half. Stay tuned for the halftime break. Go ahead and roll the dice to start this second half. They're lined up for an onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football.
Well, they're trying to pounce on their opponent with the lead in the second half, trying to steal a possession, but give the return team credit. They may not have been set up perfectly for that onside kick, but they're Johnny on the spot, and now their offense is licking their chops, hoping to go down and score.
And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. Looking for a man. It's Manning. Gonna let it fly. He caught it. And he will score. Touchdown, Texas. That's his third touchdown pass of the day. The defense has no clue how to respond right now.
No, and the defense has had absolutely no answer. He's been on the money. He's been on fire, making the right decisions and just carving this defense up.
Texas.
That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Quarterback making adjustments. Use the play fake, now to throw. He's going for it all. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. Working well behind the sticks on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. He's moving out of the pocket. Hit as he throws. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
And the QB leaves the pocket, and he scrambles out, and he goes to his right. And I love how he keeps his eyes down the field, trying to make a play, trying to throw the football, but the relentless chase. I love it. Getting to the quarterback. He throws an inaccurate pass because he gets whacked as he throws the football. Nice job chasing by the defense.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Outside the pocket, lets it go. And he throws another interception. His 3rd one of the night.
Such a great job by the defensive back, dropping beyond the sticks, understanding where the ball's going, breaking on the football, great eyes, great vision, and great hands. Looked like a wide receiver getting that INT.
They make the stop right at the 30-yard line, but it's a 10-yard pickup and a first down. Grabbed behind the line, it's Moore. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. And the Longhorns will hustle to the line. Back to throw, it's Manning. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. And the pressure gets to him again. Another sack. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. And the Longhorns will try to pick it up on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's knocked away. They'll give up the ball, failing to convert on 4th.
And those 4th down stops are so huge for momentum to turn the ball back to your offense. Great pass defense, seeing the ball, breaking on it, swatting it down so the receiver couldn't make a play. Nice job by this defense.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Snagged out of the air. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down.
Slants against man. That wide receiver has to win right now at the line of scrimmage against that DB playing man coverage. Quarterback timing with the wide receiver, put it on the money. Wide receiver's probably still going to get hit too and got to hold on to that thing.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the first down. They've now got to communicate the next play.
And it's his 4th interception of the night. Bringing it back. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
Coming out of the tunnel in the 3rd quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the 3rd quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better.
Breaks into the open. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good game there.
Well, he was able to gash him on that play. You just give this guy 1 inch, one little crease. He puts his foot in the ground, and he gets north fast.
Looking to throw, it's Manning. Got the quick pass. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to pass. Caught. And they pick up just a few on that completion. The Longhorns come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Trying to burn this defensive back. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Unloads it left. Makes the grab, ready for the first down. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. DBs lock up tight on the receivers. Got his man on the right. Goes out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they'll be set up and in great position here. The defense burns their 3rd and final timeout of the half. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Send the tight end in motion. Trying to power it in. Trying to get closer, and they knock it free. Oh, and he gets it back, so you can file that one under. Could have been worse. And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter.
29 Philly.
Turning to the running game here on 3rd and goal. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered.
Texas, 35. Clemson, 14.
They'll try to tack on a little extra to this lead with a touchdown here on 4th and goal. They're going to run it. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
This is so a Jesse Palmer. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Gotta look good in the polls. This is your kind of offense, Palmer.
And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last 2 drives. The best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
Back to pass, it's Klubnik. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he has had 0 rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions.
They'd hoped to be able to pick up enough after the catch, but a good stop leaves them with a 4th and short.
Really good job by the defense being physical, understanding the situation in the game. The ball's going to come out quick. You know that. Go make the tackle, force the 4th down.
The Tigers get enough to move the chains. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7. Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. The toss to the outside. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
I think at this point of the game now in the second half, down by as many points as they are, it's going to be really hard for the offense to sprinkle in the run. They tried it there. It didn't work. I think you got to be thinking about the passing game now and start trying to identify playmakers out on the perimeter of the field that can get you back in this game.
Shoots it to the left. And that is his 5th interception. If he comes out to try for 6, he'll be lucky. Touchdown, Longhorn! The defense does the work in South with a pick 6.
How oftentimes can you say that there is a safety who's the most dangerous guy on the field with the ball in his hands? Did you see that guy and his ability in the open field once he picked it off? There was nobody on offense even coming close to getting that guy down. What an athlete.
That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick.
Well, here in the 4th quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
To throw, it's Klubnik. Pulls it in.
And it's all about coachable moments, and obviously they have not had a ton of success throwing the ball in this game, but as a coach, I think you're just looking for positives, like that play right there, even late in the game, taking your steps, making the right read, an accurate throw, positive plays that you can build upon offensively for the next game.
They almost had another interception. Is everybody clear on who's wearing which colored jerseys? Quarterback adjusting the pattern. They'll go to the air on 3rd and short. Going downfield for the big play. Oh, and he just flat dropped it. You do not see this guy do that very often. It'll be 4th down.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
On 4th down, going to the air. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a 1st down. He'll be forced out of bounds at the 28. Here comes Clemson with another 1st down. Looking downfield on 1st down. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down. He just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And that's kind of how their day's gone, right? Like they haven't protected their guy up front, and that's why they haven't been explosive and scored a bunch of points, man. Position number 1 for every offense. Like, if we're going to throw, we got to protect him. And just right there, he gets hit again. He's been sacked several times. Like, this offensive line's got to do a better job.
Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. Back to throw, it's Klubnik. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
They'll line up to go for 2. Now on the option. And the ball is free on the pitch. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
It was a golden opportunity on that 2-point conversion attempt, but he fumbles. You got to have better ball security. They come away with no points.
Take over and they'll send out the offense. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the...
It's complete! They finally get to him. A what a play there to pick up the 1st down. Offense will use a timeout. 19 seconds left in the game. And they probably don't need to risk running a play here, but the head coach might want to rub it in just a little bit. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas!
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They wasted no time on that drive. 2 plays, touchdown just like that. Cool as a cucumber as the hands team. The ball squirts free. These corners going to give these receivers some space. Scanning the field, it's Manning. Release to the back. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to.
He'll take a shot. Incomplete. He took a shot on the final play of the quarter and couldn't quite find his man. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected. A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Everybody's doubting us. Nobody thinks we can win. It's really easy to motivate that type of squad. They played motivated. They played a little ticked off. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the excitement, the adrenaline, the emotion, and they earned a big dub today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. no position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Hello and welcome everyone to a game that we've been eagerly awaiting, as we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Clemson Tigers, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Florida Gators. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. Clemson will boot it away to get this one started. Fielded in the end zone, it's ball. Not a lot of space to be found. Good. The coverage team, and they stop him at the 21.
Make it happen.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Pocket breaking down. Nice move to keep running. Oh, it's out. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. I guess in this case, the scramble giveth and the scramble taketh away, and the ball was taken away.
And I'm not sure if he just didn't see an open guy downfield or if his receivers didn't do a good enough job on the scramble rule getting open. But at the end, quarterback held on to it way too long. That allowed the defense to catch up to him and create the takeaway.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. Clemson is quick to the line. Back in motion, trying to clear the picture. He'll toss it. He's going for the goal line. Touchdown, Clemson! How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option?
Great job by the quarterback, Reese, making the right read. I got to get that defense to commit to me. Now I pitch it. Running back catches it. I'll take this. I'll do the rest. But it was a great read by the quarterback.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. They got the ball in great field position, and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball.
Well, I give them a lot of credit for having guts. You normally don't see onside kicks until the very end of the game. Here we are in the first quarter, and they tried one, but it didn't work. So their defense now has to come out here and bail them out.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over.
He's got it. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a 1st down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
Makes the catch. They will score. Touchdown, Gator.
And they cap off the drive with a touchdown, throwing the football. In the last play, they got the explosive. They get right back to the line of scrimmage and dial up another one. Great work by the quarterback and his target being on the same page. These last 2 plays, throwing the football, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. He'll bring it out. It's Randall. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. He'll ride his man on the option. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Really good job by this defense, understanding responsibility football, playing the first option, playing the second option. There was absolutely nowhere to go. Nice job being dialed in exactly where the ball was going and how to get him to the ground.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Making the running back a weapon in the passing game makes it so difficult on the defense to cover everything.
No doubt. And listen, there's so many matchups across the board. If I'm playing offense, I'm going to assess it. Like, where do I have a speed advantage? Is it a running back versus a linebacker? Is it a receiver versus a corner? Whatever it is.
Turning it on! Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a 1st down.
And they may have caught the defense napping there a little bit, David, maybe expecting pass on that 3rd down, but because of the back's effort now, fresh set of downs.
And it's so nice to have a guy that you can give the football on these 3rd down situations and feel confident you're going to continue to move the sticks.
Gets the back moving. Looking downfield, it's Klubnik. Going for it all. Pulls it in on the right. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down. Clemson set up with another 1st down. To the air on 1st down. Under fire. Finds his man. It's Haynes. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
They'll run the option. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. And the Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Sends it back in motion. On the option. He'll pitch it. Didn't get much. Picked up a yard, and that will leave them with 4th and 2.
And the offense on that option play, they're just thinking we're going to use our speed to our advantage, and we're just going to outflank you easily and pick up this 1st down on 3rd and short. But how about the defense? Everybody's staying home. You saw the speed and their ability to get outside and get a stop, now setting up 4th down.
He wants to change this route. On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Hauls it in, the first down and more. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. The Tigers, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. The pitch. Got enough space. And he's run out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they keep him out of the end zone for the moment.
And that's exactly how you draw it up. And that's why the option's so hard to stop. QB, man, draw the defense in. Look at me. I'm the first option. Bam. Next thing you know, he pitches it, gets a positive gain.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Clemson.
And no monkey business. First down, come downhill, run the fullback. He gets in the end zone. Let's not make any bones about this. Be physical, run that thing, block those guys up front. Nice job by this offense taking care of business in the red zone.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. Looking for space. It's ball. There he goes. He rolls all the way up to the 40-yard line before going out of bounds in this running game, making an impact. Wants to throw. It's Lagway. Oh, they're after him. He'll pull it down and run. A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. So first down here as they go back to work. Wants to go up top on first down. He's going for a big play downfield. Makes the grab on the shot. Touchdown, Florida. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. Extra point here will tie the game.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. He'll bring it out. It's Randall. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Opening play of this drive comes from the 11. The option look. Now the pitch. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown, but he's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. I think that's a play on the option the quarterback would like to have back.
Quarterback making checks. Motion from the back. Dropping back, it's Klubnik. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions from go to 1 to 2 and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target. You can tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
On third and long, trying to convert through the air.
Well, he's never a doubt. Kidding me? He had a 2-yard push in there. Like, he knew exactly where he was on the field, trying to throw the ball down the field, create some space, right, to make it easier for your play caller. Quarterback gets sacked, but thank goodness it wasn't a safety.
On fourth down, they're taking to the air. He's going to let it go. He's got it in more than enough for a first down. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive. Clemson ready to go back to work with another first down. Looking to throw on first down. The ball's free. Picks up the ball and tries to make something of it. I don't know if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous bounce, but at least they've got the ball back.
Well, one thing I do know, Reese, this running back's got to do a better job with ball security. Cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky they were able to jump on top of that.
Second down, they'll go to the air. He's got him. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the first down. Clemson jumps to the line.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them. They're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
Got his man all by himself. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play. The Tigers started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. From the red zone, looking for a man. Finds his big tight end. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. They'll go hurry up here. Might be calling a hot route. Looking for a man. It's Klubnik. Quick strike complete. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers.
I'll tell you, man, I love quarterbacks that have arm talent, but that can throw it accurately at the same time, and you saw all of it on that in route.
Trying to barrel in. Touchdown, Tigers. And they take it in for 6 more points. If you're able to move the ball in a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing. For this offense now moving forward in this game, that last drive is going to pay big dividends.
Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Caught in the backfield, it's ball. A pickup of 5 marks it at the 36-yard line. They'll rush to the line, clock stop for the first down. They'll set the chains and wind the clock. He unleashes a long one. Already toasted coverage, got it deep downfield. Touchdown Gators! Buckle up, boys. I think more scores are coming.
Great job through the air for this offense. 2-minute situation, executing at the end of the half to go take the lead and take the momentum into halftime.
And he added the extra point. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. And it's caught from inside the 20, and here he comes. They get him stopped, and he was close to taking that one a long ways down at the 38. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. Dropping back, it's Klubnik. Fires to the wideout. Working on the right. He stopped at the 40, but it'll be a first down here late in the half.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play, because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Wants to throw on first down. The screen, and watch out. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Ooh, and that was close for the offense. They try to go wide receiver screen. They're counting on that receiver beating that defender. Wasn't able to make him miss that time, but if I'm on offense, I'm going back to that play later.
Flushed out of the pocket. Going to try. Oh, it's a fumble. Recovers the fumble, and he's still going. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
And those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football, you stick the quarterback, and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again, and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
Quarterback may change this route. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He's going to fire deep. Grabs it inside the 10. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Timeout, Clemson.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Wants to go up top. Wide out trying to get it in. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiger.
And that's a great job by this offense. That's how you work the clock. You want to take as much as you can and punch that ball in the end zone. Masterful clock management, and they now take the lead going into the half.
And you just got to wonder, too, David, how does that affect the confidence of a defense, right? They needed to find some way, somehow, to get a stop, limit the damage on that final drive. They give up a touchdown. They're going into halftime now, trailing. They've got to raise their level of play in the second half.
And the extra point is good, and the lead is 6. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. 1 more snap coming before halftime. To the air, it's Lagway. Scrambling away. Pressure is all over him, and he can't get it off. Down he goes, and that'll bring us to the end of the first half. So the first half has come to a close. We'll take a break and head over to the halftime show. I guess they're trying to send a message to start this second half, lined up for an onside kick. They got it, able to recover the onside kick, and they get the offense right back out there. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. They'll start this drive going to the air. Zings it complete to the right. Oh, he's got some space. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. And it's caught! Touchdown, Florida! This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, just gets in the zone, right? And you can't miss. You've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. Leaves it with the running back. Weaves his way ahead and gets 5 out to the 18-yard line. Clemson is quick to the line.
And the offense has a little bit of success, and what do? They push that turbo button right back on the line, ready to run another play.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Looking to throw, it's Klubnik. Under fire. Picked off. What a play to set him up. He would have loved to make the big return there, but he still gives his team the ball at the 37. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. Right on the money. And he'll go down, but he delivered the business end of his stiff arm to that defender on the way.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back in it.
Touchdown, Gator! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. He has been surgical. Precision passes, using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
Even the defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
Takes it inside his own 20, chance for great field position here. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. They'll get this drive started from their own 26. Going right to work up top. A strike downfield. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
Well, he's making it look easy out there snagging that pass. Sammy Watkins, Mike Williams, T. Higgins, great Clemson receivers in recent years. These guys just got open. They found a way with their speed and their route running ability. It's a lot of what this guy does here, too. He makes it easy on his quarterback.
To the air, it's Klubnik using the quick game.
Slant routes, they're good against man coverage, but they're good against zone coverage too. If that receiver can find the soft spot between the linebacker and the DB, you'll take that throw all day.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down. Using his legs to buy some time. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. Can you believe this? The offense is going for it on fourth down. Wants to adjust the pattern. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Got it in the middle, it's Brown. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on fourth down.
Love the coverage on defense there. Fourth down, they're ready for the pass. You saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Caught behind the line. It's Wilson. Brought down at the 39 after a pickup of 10. It'll be a first down. Looking to throw on first down. It's a mid-stride inside the 10. Touchdown, Florida. And once he got away from the knee, they had no shot at catching it.
This guy is officially a problem. His second receiving touchdown of the game. Nice job by the offense, dude. If I've got a matchup I like, continue to pick at it until they stop it.
They're on it, and they get it back for another drive.
They're like the kid at the playground that just does not want to share their ball with anybody else and play in the sandbox. They've got a crazy lead, and still, head coach decides to go out, onside kick. They get it, and they maintain with possession. It's crazy.
They'll start this drive at their own 48. Back to pass, it's Lagway. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42. And the Gators in the hurry up. If you plan to deal with the Tigers, you better be able to handle their defensive front. They have a whole legacy. Breaks into the open. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants...
Throws toward the end zone. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. Takes it the other way. He's at the 40. The 20. Touchdown, Tigers. How about this defense taking one back to the house?
And there's something you don't see often. A 100-yard interception return for a touchdown. As a quarterback, you know those windows are really small to throw into. And if you don't throw it on time, it's going to get at minimum tipped, maybe picked. That's the worst possible scenario for a quarterback. What a play by the defense.
Snap in the shotgun. He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they trim more off of that lead. They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. To the air, it's Lagway. Takes a shot as he lets it go. Missed his receiver there, it's incomplete.
I love that play call by the offensive coordinator. Your quarterback just threw a pick 6. You want to pick him right back up, right? So don't handcuff him. On the very first play of the next drive, let him throw the football to try to reestablish a rhythm and reestablish some confidence. Obviously, that one falls incomplete, but they need to get this guy back into a rhythm. The only way you do that is by throwing the ball.
He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Lets it fly. Holds it in on the left. And he was off to the races, finally tripped up at the 36. The Gators are on the move. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Looking downfield on first down. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47. The Gators headed quickly to the line.
Man, that is a big negative play for this defense, putting them in reverse, getting the quarterback on the ground, and they better get ready again. Look at this offense. They're right back on the ball, ready to snap it again.
Wants to go up top. Throws to the wideout. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hip. And the Gators are in a mess here on 3rd and a mile. Dropping back, it's Lagway. Throwing right. He's got an open man. They just gashed the defense on that one, and they've got it down to the 23. The Gators come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Fires deep toward the end zone. Touchdown, Gator! Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a two-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
Hauls it in inside his 20, and here he comes. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Opening play of this drive comes from the 26-yard line. First play of the drive, wants to throw. He rifles one deep to the left. He's got it! Huge plays like that can change the complexion of a game, and he's got it at the 22-yard line.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
Fires to the middle. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Recovers the fumble, and he's on the move. Touchdown, Clemson. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Hey, that's not how you draw it up, but how about the offense and the awareness? You see the ball out, forget jumping on it. I'm going to pick that puppy up. I'm going to take it to the house. The OC, great call on that one, buddy, because it worked to perfection.
Well, they didn't exactly milk the clock on that drive, did they? 2 plays and into the end zone for the touchdown. Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well to not give back that last score. Look at the hands to get that squib kick inside the 25. They put the brakes on him, but a good return out to the 36. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. Looking downfield, it's Lagway. Right down the middle. It's complete. Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. He's now over 150 yards receiving. Might be worth noting that Taylor Jacobs holds the single-game record with 246.
Yeah, and when he got speed on the outside, find him, bro.
Turning it on. They'll get him stopped at the 34. He's got 10 yards on that one and a first down.
Video game type numbers now for this QB. He has been virtually unstoppable, and you know the Heisman voters are taking account of what he has done here in this game. He's got over 450 passing yards now.
Just inside the 35, 1st and 10 from the 34. On the option. They'll try the run. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And I feel sorry for this defense. Like, they're having to defend the entire field. QB's already shown he can beat you with his arm. Now with his legs and his decision-making, getting the ball to the pitch, man, he's shown a variety. In this defense, they're having to defend the whole entire field.
He'll pull it on the read. They get him in the backfield, and he loses 3 on the play. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. I think they'd keep it on the ground here to drain as much time as possible off that clock and hold on to this lead. Fires to the right. He's got him still on his feet. Touchdown, Florida! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach. And
this will be picked off, maybe just the turning point they needed. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick. Few anxious moments there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. He makes a little bit of headway and is pushed out of bounds at the 43. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. To the air. It's Klubnik. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
And this is a tough time for this offense because you're in passing mode. You're in comeback mode, and what is that? The defense knows that. Like, they're pinning their ears back. They're coming after the quarterback, and you've already struggled protecting your guy today and creating those explosive plays. This offense is going to have to buckle up and really protect their guy in front.
Serious arm strength on that third down pass, but it's incomplete.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
It's dropped and all. Tough way to end this drive. They spun that wheel of fortune on fourth down and come up bankrupt. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. To the air on first down. He lobs one high down the left side. And here's the pick, and oh, did they need that right now. He'll try to take it back. He's at the 40. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Clemson. What momentum you get when the defense comes up with a play like that.
How fast did this game just change? Offense in the lead with the football looking great. Defense makes the big play. We've got ourselves a ball game now.
And he splits the uprights on the extra point. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on him.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time, when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
They'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. Timeout called by the offense. Clock stopped with 21 seconds left. And he'll reach for a 53-yarder and have to guide it in with precision from the right side. Lost the defense, he's wide open.
And they've trusted him to throw the football all game. And I expect nothing to change whatsoever. They're going to put it on his back, or his arm, I guess you could say, and let him throw this team to victory. It's a close game, tight game. I'm rolling with my best player.
Not sure why they want to throw again. And he reels it in for a touchdown, and that just might seal it.
And they say play to the final whistle. This offense took it to heart. Scoring late, maybe they could have wasted the clock. They made no doubt about it. This one's over.
And he made the extra point without problem. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Caught inside the 20, chance for a good return. No more room to run. They make the tackle right there, and the clock is at 0, and that's how this one will end. Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw two really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, two really good teams, man. That's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above you. Now you start to climb up the charts, build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Coleman.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this. Two ranked opponents, evenly matched. Who's going to be able to make the plays when it matters the most? You got to give this team credit. This is a big win. It's impressive, and now they get to move up the rankings.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.